Hello, and thanks for participating in the Society of Women Engineers volunteer training. Please watch this video and answer the questions on the Google form to the right of the video. Feel free to pause the video in order to have enough time to fill out the questions. Make sure to hit submit on the Google form after you've answered the questions. These are some of the programs that SWE runs. Triple E Day reaches out to elementary school students. Great Day is our largest event, which brings about 200 7th to 10th grade girls and their parents to campus. During Shadow Day, high school girls get the opportunity to stay overnight on campus and shadow a college student to see what engineering at U of M is all about. Scout Out Day brings many Girl Scouts to campus to do fun engineering activities, and school and troop visits reach out to individual classes or Girl Scout troops. Whichever you're involved with, we're sure you're going to have a great time volunteering. Before you continue this video, please pause and fill out the information in questions 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the Google form to your right. In order to get the most you can out of volunteering, and in order for the students you'll be working with to get the most they can out of the program, it's important that you pause and reflect about what makes you a good role model. In addition, it's important that you think about safe practices when working with young students. So to begin, let's think about what makes a role model and what makes a mentor. What's the difference between a role model and a mentor? You probably have both role models and mentors in your life. Role models are the people that you look up to without having to interact with consistently. Mentors personally invest in the lives of their mentees and provide guidance over an extended period of time. Both role models and mentors are very important in the lives of young people. As a volunteer for one of SWE's outreach programs, you have the opportunity to be a role model. You'll only be interacting with the students at the event on the day of the event itself, so it's important that you make a positive impact as a role model in this short amount of time. One definition of a role model is someone whose own passion and enthusiasm help motivate others and inspire them to see possibilities in their future. Do your best to be this type of motivational role model when you volunteer. Role models are important in every area of life. They provide an example of how we want to be, academically, professionally, and socially. They provide us with the inspiration to be the people we want to be, and they help us realize our full potential. Why are female and minority role models especially important in STEM fields? The fact is, females and minorities may face obstacles when aiming for STEM careers, whether it's obvious discrimination or simply a male-dominated atmosphere. Being able to see someone that looks like you in a job you may want, say a woman working as an engineer, makes it easier to picture yourself in this career. By interacting with the students present at our outreach events as a current university student, you make it easier for them to imagine going to college for engineering. Being a role model is about making a connection with the students at our events. Simply by sharing your time, experiences, and enthusiasm, you'll be able to make a difference in these students' lives. It's about personal connections, so make sure that you're talking to the students and sharing your stories while you volunteer. To start thinking about how you can be a good role model to the students you'll be volunteering with, you should first think about who is a role model to you. At this time, you're going to answer the 5th question on the form to the right. Think about 5 people who are either role models or mentors to you. Also write down the area of your life in which these people inspire or guide you. For example, I would write down, Professor Thomas guides me in the area of academics and my future career. Pause the video now to fill out the question. Now that you've thought about who your role models and mentors are, it's time to think about what makes you a role model. Remember, all it takes to be a good role model is making connections with the students and sharing your own unique story. It will be beneficial for you to think about what got you to where you are right now. On the form to your right, answer the following questions. What drew you to your field? What obstacles have you encountered along your path? How did you overcome them? And what inspires you? You can pause the video now for extra time. Just as a reminder before you go and inspire some young students, think for a minute about what makes engineering great. Here are some reasons that inspire many to be engineers. Engineers and scientists make a positive impact on the world. Engineers solve problems creatively and shape the future. And engineering is essential for everyone's health, happiness, and safety. The second component of this volunteer training is a quick segment on risk reduction. It's important that all volunteers are aware of best practices in youth safety so that we may do our best to protect the students, SWE, the university, and you. 2 concepts from the Youth Protection Training by the Boy Scouts of America are relevant to our events. Firstly, minimizing one-on-one contact helps protect youth. This means that in all cases possible, you shouldn't be alone with a minor. Try to have at least one other person in the room. 2 Deep Leadership is a concept that keeps volunteers acting appropriately and youth safe. 2 Deep Leadership means the presence of 2 volunteers at a time when youth are present. This way, volunteers can keep each other's behavior and leadership in check. With 2 volunteers present at a time, all can participate in keeping a safe and protected environment for youth. This information may seem obvious to you, but it's worthwhile to mention appropriate and inappropriate behavior when interacting with kids. Stay away from any of the inappropriate stories that you may have accumulated while in college. Obviously, don't swear. Also, stay off your cell phones if possible. We want you to be engaged and interactive as a volunteer. Some good and appropriate conversation topics that you may want to use are classes, your favorite and least favorite, extracurriculars, and some of the awesome but appropriate experiences you've had while here at U of M. Lastly, when you volunteer for a SWE event, the students and parents you work with will have plenty of questions for you. Some of them may be about your personal experiences at U of M, but some of them may be questions about the university or admissions process to which you don't know the answer. If you are asked a question that you can't answer, the best thing to do is just direct the student or parent to a resource with more info. A few useful websites are the admissions website, the financial aid website, and Maze Pages, which has information about student groups. At this point, you can pause the video and answer the final question, which is just a set of checkboxes about youth protection. Thank you for participating in SWE's Youth Volunteer Training. Hopefully, you're now better prepared to be a role model and a safe volunteer. You're going to have a great time at the event, but don't hesitate to contact the Outreach Director if you have any questions.